Major League Baseball, America's favorite pastime, immortalized in films like A League of Their Own and Field of Dreams.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
All too often, another constant has been baseball players using tobacco, especially chewing tobacco, a known cause of cancer. It's what led to the early death of Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn, who died in June of cancer in his salivary gland, a diagnosis Gwynn blamed on chewing tobacco. Baseball great Babe Ruth, also a longtime chewer, died of oral cancer. Now, 9 major public health organizations are pushing Major League Baseball to ban all tobacco use by players and staff at games and on camera to honor Gwynn's memory. They sent this letter to MLB Commissioner Bud Selig and Players Association Chief Tony Clark, calling on them to set the right example for America's kids.
Kids see their heroes on the field, and they want to emulate and be just like their favorite slugger or their favorite pitcher.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, smokeless tobacco use not only increases your risk of several types of cancer, it's also responsible for heart attacks and strokes, even leading to sudden death. And in recent years, minor league baseball has been cracking down on players caught using smokeless tobacco, levying fines on players and team owners of up to $1,000.
People know that they could get caught at any time, and it's a major fine. I mean, it's not just, like a speeding ticket fine.
When we first approached minor league baseball, it was almost like they were waiting for someone to reach out and try to forge this kind of partnership.
The minor league crackdown comes as the Food and Drug Administration was looking at ways of discouraging teenagers, particularly white males in rural areas who are more at risk of taking up the habit.
Because smokeless tobacco use is so culturally ingrained in rural communities that 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old boys, they see their dads dipping or chewing, older brothers, uncles, leaders in the community.
My dream was to be a professional baseball player, as a lot of young kids is. When I associated baseball back then, I associated it with that can in the back of the pocket. And I always wanted to know what that can was. What did that represent, that can? Was that the difference between me getting there? So by seeing that and seeing how successful these guys were in the limelight, living on a ranch and seeing the, most of the guys at the ranch hands chewing, everywhere I looked, what I thought was a real strong man and what I saw was a real positive role model on the baseball field was that can. And after several lesions were taken that we discussed, finally someone did the correct test at Stanford, and they did a dye test. And they figured out that there was something wrong.
A cancerous tumor had developed inside Bob's lip in the exact same spot where he had held his spit tobacco since he was 13 years old. While researchers are still investigating spit tobacco and the various forms of oral cancer that it causes, it would be difficult to convince Bob that something else caused his cancer.
I can still remember being wheeled in that day. It's the scariest moment in the world, knowing they're going to take, part of your face off. It's kind of dishumbling.
Radical surgery was necessary to remove the tumor. The operation took 14 hours. Bob lost his chin, his bottom teeth, and bottom gums. Unfortunately, the surgery was not in time to stop the cancer. A second diagnosis in December of 1996 revealed that the cancer was spreading.